Good morning, everyone, and welcome along to All-Ireland T20 Finals Day. We're here at the ward in Stormont, in Belfast. I am delighted to say we have blue skies here this Sunday morning. We have the women's final just about to start. You can see some of the players on your screen there. The women's final between Merrion and Waringstown about to start here. Scheduled 11 o'clock with the men's final this afternoon between Instonians and Cork County. Two teams are just about to line up. You can see the Waringstown players all in mood for this final today. They're very excited to be back here today, having been at the final last year. Marian, they're coming back today from 2022 and 23 winners, so they're looking to regain their title. Two teams now just lining up prior to today's game. And the pictures with the two captains, Sophie Hines and Niamh McNulty, but the two teams now just lining up, and we will have an anthem before, of course, the All-Ireland. It's Ireland's Call. So that was Ireland's Call. Fantastic to see ahead of all Ireland games today. The two teams lining up there for Ireland's Call. So you can see on the screen there that Waringstown women will be batting. Let's get the full details of that toss that took place around about half an hour ago. Okay, so I'm out here in the middle for the toss for this National All-Ireland T20 Women's Final between Marian and Waringstown. I have the two captains here, Sophie Hines from Waringstown and Niamh McNulty from Marian. Sophie, you've won the toss. What have you decided to do?
Picked a bat.
You're batting? Reasons behind?
Just it's kind of been something we've been comfortable with all season, and it's a nice day today. Rain's kind of from last night gone over, so just give it a go.
Okay, so putting some runs on the board and let Marian chase those down. Obviously, you've been a pretty successful team this year. You've won the double. Obviously, you've won the league and the cup to get here. What are you looking forward to today?
Well, I think today is just obviously a nice reward for the season that we've had so far, so we're just here to enjoy ourselves and give a good account of ourselves and hopefully the NCU. And
obviously last year, got to the final last year, it was a bit of a difficult day in terms of just maybe the experience got to you, but you've got that experience behind you now today.
Yeah, last year was our first time, but we're hosting up at the NCU this year, hopefully a few more NCU supporters and stuff, so we're just looking forward to playing.
Absolutely. Good luck today.
Thank you so much.
Good luck. Niamh?
Hiya, how are you?
Okay, obviously lost the toss there. What would you have done?
We probably would have looked to bat first as well, but the weather's holding pretty good today, so we're happy to bowl first.
Yeah, the weather's holding at the minute. Hopefully it does for the final. Again, similar to Waringstown, you've had a really good season. Obviously won the cup to get here, but then last week winning the league title as well, just by the barest of margins, as it said. So how are you feeling?
Yeah, we're feeling good. We've worked really hard this summer, especially in the league. I think it was well deserved, so we're coming in with positive energy here today.
I'm looking to bring the trophy back to Marian. You've won it a couple of times already, looking to bring it back again.
Yeah, this will be our third time now, so hopefully we'll get across the line today.
Terrific. Good luck today, Niamh. Good luck to Waringstown and Marian today. Waringstown have won the toss. They have decided to bat first. So that was the toss that took place earlier on, as detailed there. Sophie Hines winning the toss, electing to bat for Waringstown. The players are out in the middle, and I am delighted to have today alongside me today Dave Serra. Welcome, Dave. Looking forward to a really good day's cricket here in this All-Ireland T20 Finals Day.
Thank you very much, Ali McCallum. Great to be here. Some lovely conditions. All things considered yesterday, maybe Things didn't seem as hopeful. But Love's got quite a bit of wind, strong wind blowing across the ground, but blue skies, as you mentioned. So fantastic to have some cricket here for All Ireland T20 Finals Day, the women's final. First order of business.
Yep, I'm all set to go. Parvati O'Hara and Lee Clark out there in the middle are standing umpires. Gareth McCree's third is going to be Liam McNulty. On a ball to Amy Caulfield, and here we go. Opening ball on the off stump, defended by Caulfield. We'll quickly run you through the two teams today very quickly. We'll start with Merrion. They're captained by Niamh McNulty, Bella Armstrong, Julianne Morrissey, keeper Ali Boucher, Annabelle Squires, Isling Lawler, Isabel Light, Sophie Stewart, Siva Boja, and then Leah Paul and Rebecca Stokel. And once again on the off stump, defended by Caulfield. So a pretty strong lineup there for Merrion, especially with their two big internationals coming back in, Leah Paul and Rebecca Stokel, just back from a very successful trip to the Netherlands.
Yeah, definitely adds to their ranks. They've been very dominant this season.
Very straight start from McNulty, a little bit of swing, not too much, but fairly cautious stuff from Caulfield to start here. Bringing the Waringstown team in a moment. We do that at the end of this opening over. Say they're back here from last year. They'll certainly have learnt from that. Down the leg side this time, and it may be the opening run for Waringstown. It is. O'Hara signals a wide. So Waringstown up and running.
Up and running straight off the mark. Just a bit fuller there from McNulty. She was right in the mark in those first few deliveries. Just straying slightly.
Similar again, very similar delivery. Drifting down leg, so another wide.
Marian, of course, very dominant this year in all competitions. Just won the league, actually, in Leinster.
Yeah, that's something else really, wasn't it? Really came down to the wire. Outside off this time, a little bit of width, but Caulfield can't get good purchase on it. Kind of four fielders in that offside ring. Point, cover, extra cover, and then mid off. It'll be difficult to thread it through. And there's the opening wicket. Just earing in on leg stump there. Full ball. Caulfield plays a little bit around it. And the opening wicket in the opening over. Caulfield goes for naught. And Waringstown 2 for 1.
Yeah, lovely piece of bowling. As you mentioned, McNulty just getting her line right there. Line in length. It's a bit shorter there as she started off. It was very tight. We'll have a look again. Fancy there's a bit of shape as well. As it came out of the hand, fuller through the gate.
Yeah, I think it was the length there that really got Caulfield tucked up there on her leg stump. Just a little bit tentative to start with there, and McNulty with the full ball just missed by Caulfield, and that's a bit of a blow for Waringstown in the first over. Not just the fact they've lost a wicket, but maybe Caulfield usually sets their tempo in these games, and he's their top run scorer in the league campaign this year. So to lose her early, not what Waringstown would have wanted, but it does bring international to the crease. Number 89 on her back, that's Cara Murray. Obviously more known international circles for her leg spin, but can certainly bat. She's got 100 already in the league campaign for Waringstown, so this is a big partnership for Waringstown.
Big moment here. You always look to see who's going to draw first in a final. Those nerves obviously can come into play too. You just think maybe a couple of wides from McNulty.
Yeah, a little bit short. Gets away with it though. That'll close out the opening over. Two wides got Waringstown up and running, but no runs off the bat and a wicket for McNulty. So 2 for 1 from that opening over.
Yeah, just maybe those 2 wides you'd fancy maybe just slightly those nerves playing on McNulty can affect anyone really. When you get into those situations, big games at the end of the year, but then she was straight on it to take that wicket. Lovely piece of bowling, line and length, right on the money.
Yep, it's got a wicket there, so promised you I would run through the Waringstown team, so I'll do that now. It's captained by Sophie Hines, and then right there in the middle at the moment is Abby Harrison, and their Kiwi is Abigail Gherkin. Amy Caulfield has opened the batting and been and gone. Cara Murray's out there in the middle, Charlotte Lyons, Naomi Matthews, Penny Spear, Rachel Harrison, Sam Todd, and there. The last player is Susie McCollum. That is not in batting lineup. It's just the lineup that I've written down. So we'll obviously call that as the players come in. Cara Murray is out there in the middle with Abby Harrison. As I say, big partnership now for Waringstown. Siva Boja is going to take the ball. It's a beautiful piece of swing straight up from the Dundonald end. Really nice start for Boja.
Yeah, very handy operator, Boja. Very impressive in the Super Series. Saw her quite a bit there for the Scorchers.
Yeah, she's come a long way. She's played a couple of Super Series at 15, I think. And she's really developed now. It's a little bit wide and will be called. It's outside the line there, so that's called a wide. So just extras coming from Waringstown at the minute.
Be a crucial partnership here, crucial moment. Cara Murray to the crease. Got her internationals back after that qualifying campaign, that very successful qualifying campaign in the Netherlands.
Full again, driven, and we're going to get our first runs off the bat, but field placing from McNulty. She knows get those square boundaries covered, fielder out on the cover boundary, so keeps it to 1.
Abby Harrison off the mark. Just settles you down slightly as well, getting that first run off the bat, especially in a final. You can
all the nerves in the week leading up to it, all the chat, all the media. We talked about it in the All-Ireland Senior Finals. Bojan again, thrown up there and tempted for Murray. Not too much foot movement there. Cara Murray. She's definitely bowling a full length here, Bojan. Merrion, no harm in that. She's got the field set. Good lines from Marian to start with. Oh, that's kept low. That is kept low. That'll be an interesting one to see. That one's really kept low, Dave.
Definitely something to think about early on. You can see Cara Murray just kind of moving away slightly. Go again, maybe. Yeah, good bit shorter there from Boja. Not really getting up at all.
It'll be in your head now, that straight away. Gonna put that back of your mind. Play the next ball on its merits. Oh, she get a little tickle on that. She might have indeed. Given the bowler and keeper reaction there. May have been a little touch on that one.
Could be the first little moment in this final. Of course, you've had that wicket, but just chances as well. So crucial. Who will take these chances early on?
Bojan again. It's full again with shape. She's getting a little bit of swing here. Boja, just the wide and then the single. Very, very tidy stuff from Merrion to start with. 2 overs gone, 4 for 1.
Yeah, very tidy from both Boja and McNulty. You can definitely see a bit of movement, very strong ground. Hard to overstate that. Who can make best use of those conditions, get a bit of swing, and who can manage it as well. Balls in the air, taking those crucial catches. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, I think conditions are difficult here today, though, with the wind more than in. We're delighted to see a little bit of sunshine after yesterday. There was a bit of a deluge in the north yesterday. Even worried about today's game, really. You know, it was really heavy. No cricket was played at all in the north, so delighted to see a little bit of sun, but the wind is difficult. You can probably see a lot of the leaves just at the minute. They're quite static, but they've been blowing around here this morning. A lot of our bits and pieces have been blowing around. It's been quite difficult to keep them down, so the wind is a factor here. McNulty ball her second. Driven, but the one is up, so easily fielded.
Nicely driven there by Harrison. What Ollie's of course saying is that we're holding on to absolutely everything as the wind blows through.
Yeah. It is indeed. It's been quite windy here this morning, but as I say, delighted to be here. Getting game on. That's short. That's well hit. And that will be our opening boundary of this Women's All-Ireland T20 final. Beautiful shot from Abby Harrison.
Yeah, fantastic shot. Just raced along the turf, which is nice to see. Obviously, we've had a bit of moisture. Gets her hands through it, finds the gap. There's no stopping that, really.
That's nicely tucked into the leg side. Yeah, Abby Harrison, somebody who was really pushing a couple of years back, got into the Dragons team, and then suffered a really bad injury in the opening game of that campaign. I think it was last year. Suffered a really bad knee injury at Lisburn. I was at the game, and I was told maybe she wouldn't be back to play cricket, but delighted to see her back there, and she's been playing a lot of youth cricket. McNulty in again. And there's that ball again that got Caulfield. Just seems to catch the batters a little bit unaware, and they play all round it. It's very full on legs. Be tucking them up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely mixing up her length. Going for that wonder ball. See a bit of shape. See if you can attack those stumps. Not a bad idea.
Down leg side again. Yeah, it's going back to Abby Harrison, as I say, that injury certainly curtailed her season, and then she's come back this year and played a lot of cricket. She played obviously for Waringstown. She played for that very successful Dragons team. She then played youth cricket and been away on tour as well, and also in that emerging series, and she's got runs, so she'll be full of confidence coming into today. This time Karen Murray gets bat on ball, but again, no real purchase on it.
Yeah, it's great to see someone like Harrison coming back. Quite a young player as well, of course. Seeing her come back, great to see. Come back quickly enough. Featured in that Under-19s World Cup back in January, February. Feels like a long time ago now.
Nicely bowled. McNulty, good lines again. Murray can't get it away. And the over and again. Good over from McNulty, just the boundary. Really from Harrison, a lovely shot. Showed her confidence as she actually stepped across and put that away. So 10 for 1 off 3. Steady start. Saw her father early on, Simon Harrison, of course, ex-Waringstown first 11 player. Lots of Harrisons at Waringstown. All about the place. So he's here today, as we see on the screen there just at the top right. It's a good crowd coming in here to watch this final. Nicely split between Merrion and Waringstown.
Yeah, folks have made the trip up. Great to see. Great to have some cricket on yet. Slowly filling up.
Bozier to continue. Will she continue with that full outside leg? Inside off rather. That's taking the edge as it still swings a little. Harrison nudges it down to 3rd for 1.
Yeah, it's a great club day. Great day in the Irish club calendar. Come down to the ground, you might see folks you don't usually see. Bump into people. Great day for a chat.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's really a great point that it's not just about the two teams on show here. Down the track, great shot. Terrific shot from Cara Murray. Takes a little bit of impetus down the track there to negate the swing. Got to the ball on the half volley. Got her hands through it, hit it over cover. Lovely boundary.
Yeah, it's a fantastic shot there by Murray. Really gets her hands through that. She's known amongst her Ireland teammates for that cover drive. Using it handily there, but just getting a sense of the pace. Feel off this pitch.
You can see on screen there the wind really getting up with that delivery. Even the debris going across the pitch as well. It's quite difficult for batters to concentrate at times.
Yeah, slight autumnal feel here.
It is a little bit, yeah.
The Ward and Stormont.
Bojan again, that's full. That'll be another wide outside the line. Again, Camurray was coming down the wicket. Well, McNulty maybe look to bring up. Only bouncing up to the stumps maybe. Just to keep Murray in her crease. Seems to be content to come down the wicket. She's down again. This time goes leg side. And that is our first maximum of the day. Beautifully picked up from Cara Murray. Deposited over mid-wicket for 6.
Yeah, we've got our first 6 of the day. First 6 of All-Ireland T20 Finals day. Picked up very well by Cara Murray. Just airing on the pads. Very full. Yeah. Using her feet as well. That's been the thing, being very proactive. Just forcing Boja.
And again, this is in the air. It's going to drop just short. Beats the fielder and goes for 4 more. Difficult one for the fielder on the cover boundary, whether to go for the catch or just field it. And got sort of into 2 minds. And it goes for 4. Just see there. Just dropped in front of fielder on the boundary. So we'll get over this for Waringstown now. Last ball of it. That's a full toss and a no ball. And worked away for 4 from Murray. And this is T20 cricket. It's been very, very good from Merrion to start with, but just 1 over here. And just that little bit of proactivity from Cara Murray. That ball, she came down the wicket, has just put Shiva Boja off her length a little bit. That's now created a couple of boundaries. And then that ball has gone for 4 off a no ball, so there'll be a free hit to come.
Yeah, proactive is that word. Cara Murray just creating a bit of something out of nothing. We mentioned how well Boja had bowled, how well she had started. Seemed to be right on the money. Just a bit of movement in the crease now seems to have thrown things slightly by Murray. That was a free hit.
Dragged down. Well fielded. Really well fielded there. That could have been another 4, and maybe Murray will think she probably should have left that. May well have been a wide.
Yeah, those are those tough ones. A fielder up at 45, short fine leg. If you get it past, you get full purchase for that shot. The fielder gets a hand to it. They've definitely saved 4. Done some top work there for your team. Always a busy position.
Excellent stuff that from Cara Murray, as I say. Waringstown had been a little bit stuck early on. That over definitely changed things a little bit in their momentum. Just that coming down the wicket just put Boja off. She'd settled into a really nice rhythm in her opening over. McNulty's going to bowl a 3rd. Outside off and mistimed and can't get it through that ring.
Yeah, we mentioned blows. Who's going to land the first blow in the final? Of course, there was that first wicket. And Cara Murray just being that bit more proactive. Just seems to have changed momentum slightly here.
McNulty in again. Full ball again. I think that'll probably be a leg by. Yep. Scampers through for a single. So we've mentioned what a big partnership this is. Definitely last year. At the final down in Phoenix Cricket Club, when they actually played Phoenix, and they definitely, it was their first final, Waringstown, and they definitely were a little bit overawed by the day of the whole exhibition, the pre-match stuff, and just froze a little bit on the day. They'll freely admit that, and just feel that the experience has given them a little bit for this year. That's in the gap again. There's nobody out there in this power play. And that'll be another boundary for Cara Murray. Didn't get that one right off the middle of the bat, but got enough, and Murray on the charge.
Yeah, just got enough off the bat. Murray again gets it past the field there, mid-wicket. Coming down. Not quite off the middle of the bat. Got enough though. Disappears past those leaves.
Yeah. It's the trees right here at Stormont, so occupational hazard today. She's down again, that's in the air. There's a drop at cover. Will be just hauled in. That was a chance at cover. Goes down, and definitely Marian will look to try and take a wicket here.
Yeah, definitely that chance there. Goes a begging. Murray looking so dangerous. 24 off 16 at the moment.
Good comeback from the McNulty. That's back to the line and length we were talking about. As we say, Murray's just changed the momentum here. Just having a bit of aggressive tactics against these two bowlers rather than just sitting back in the crease and letting them bowl to you. She's taking the aggressive option. Full in the air. That's going to be a very, very difficult chance. She's got plenty on it as it goes down. And in fact, she's got more than plenty on it. She's hit it all the way over long on for another 6 for Cara Murray.
Yep, got enough of it. Got a lot of it actually. Gets those hands through down the wicket as we've seen so far in this innings. Fielder ran for it. Thought she was in the picture. Just over. And the fans signalling.
Yeah. Doing the business for the umpire there because it was quite tight. But 1 inch, 100 yards, doesn't matter. It's a 6. And Cara Murray has gone to 30 from 18, and she's definitely putting a little bit of pressure now on Merrion. As I say, they got a little bit stuck in the final last year. They just reached the 90 mark in their overs, but already today in the power play, 44 for 1. And a really good start from the team from the lawn. As we've mentioned, plenty of support for them up here. They've won the double in the NCU. Beat Hollywood in the final of the Northern Cup, and then in the semi-final of this All-Ireland they beat Fox Lodge to get through here. So Bill Armstrong now going to come in now to bowl the last over of this power play. Two fielders on the leg side are your boundary riders. Becca Stokel's at deep mid-wicket, and then deep square leg thrown up in the air, driven down the ground. Fielded it mid-off, well fielded. Just a single. Abby Harrison, she's quite happy to turn the strike over here now to Cara Murray. She's happy to take a single off the first ball and say, there you go, Cara. So a change in the field for Cara Murray. Deep square leg comes in, and long on goes back. And that's exactly where the ball's going to go. Right, so long on, they'll take a single.
Yeah, it's our first bowling change. Bella Armstrong into the attack with their off spin. Very canny operator, but you wonder how these two batters are going to play it. Harrison, of course, the quieter partner here. Just happy to turn the strike over. Murray going ballistic.
Nice and full. Dug out by Harrison.
Maybe not quite going ballistic, maybe not quite yet, but definitely very proactive, which is exactly what they need at this point in the game.
That's full, it's beaten the keeper. Harrison maybe a little bit disappointed she didn't get anything on that, but they're going to pick up a couple of runs. But he just checked the umpire. Yeah, belatedly, just off screen there, he signals buys. So 2 more to the total.
They just floated it up to Harrison there.
More of a length and on the sweep. Nicely played out to those 2 fielders in the deep. That's your Ireland contingent out there. Leah Paul and Becca Stokel. Nicely played from Harrison on the sweep.
Yeah, Harrison very, very strong on that sweep. Her favoured shot.
And again, driven down to long on. And that single nicely rounds off a power play for Waringstown. They bring the 50 up after just those 6 overs, so definitely Waringstown will be very, very happy with that power play.
Definitely very happy. Unhappy, obviously, to lose that early wicket. You just wonder how things were going to go. Murray comes out quite forceful and decides she's going to dominate play here, which she's done quite successfully, coming down the wicket. It's been the name of the game. You mentioned Waringstown in that final last year. Essentially, like a lot of learnings. They weren't there in a learning mission, I'm sure.
No.
But a lot to think about in the year since.
They've definitely referenced it. Obviously, I've chatted to them quite a bit coming through against Hollywood, as I say, in that original NCU final, and then Fox Lodge. All of the post-match and pre-match interviews, they've talked about the learnings they've got from that game, playing against a really top side. And I think we've seen it already today. They're not going to sit back today and just let it happen. They're going to actually try and get forward and put themselves on the front foot here today, and Cara Murray's certainly done that.
Yeah, definitely some learnings when you're playing high-level cricket in those finals, even if you lost by 9 wickets. Playing in those big occasions, just big moments for learning.
And a change of bowling again for Marian now. Julianne Morrissey's going to come on now. It's outside the power play, of course. They can spread the field a little bit more. How will Murray go about it now? Much slower. It's pulled out into the leg side. There are those fielders as we talked about. Good return in from the boundary. That's going to be important here at Stormont as well. It is a big boundary here. I've brought the boundary in on what would be the offside now, but the leg side is still quite a way out there. Waringstown maybe should look for 1s and 2s. Floated up by Morrissey.
Yeah, interesting to see how Morrissey plays. It's obviously a good bit slower. Murray was coming down the wicket. Of course, he got that keeper up. Just changes things slightly. A good option there maybe from Harrison, employing that sweep.
He gets much more on it this time. Nearly too much actually, because manages to pick out the fielder, but that is a 50 partnership from these two. Cara Murray and Abby Harrison, who put on 50 now, having lost that wicket in the first over. And certainly the coaching team from Waringstown will be really happy with that comeback. On the sweep. Missed by the keeper, and it will go through just for a bye. And I definitely think this is the better way to go for Waringstown. As you've mentioned, they definitely learned from their performance last year. They were a little bit disappointed, and not turning up, but just in the way they did lose the game. Obviously, you know, it'll be the same for any northern team really coming up against the Leinster teams. There's no doubt that they're ahead of where the northern team's in. But we've seen over the past 2 or 3 years the players coming through in the Dragons and sort of making more of a mark in inter-pro cricket. So it's definitely developing in the north, but they'll always be underdogs, and it's how you go about sort of chasing a final, and it is a final.
It's bold move 2 again. He won the toss. Waringstown deciding to bat. They batted first in that final last year.
That's a lovely shot again from Murray. Down the ground. Happy to take on the fielder at mid-off. And that's another boundary for Cara Murray. She moves to 38.
Lovely shot from Murray. It was very full from Armstrong. If we get a look back at it. Came down to meet it.
This is excellent batting from Cara Murray. Really, really good batting from the Irish international. Came down the track the last time, hit it over mid-on. This delivery sits back, waits for the change in length, and it comes perfectly for her, and she turns it into the leg side and picks up back-to-back boundaries.
Yeah, how often do you see that? Spin bowler overcompensating after the batter comes down the track.
Come back from Armstrong, but Cara Marie, obviously, as I say, didn't get too much of a hit in those games in Holland. I'm not actually sure she did. Marian didn't lose too many wickets. It's in the air, but well hit over the top of the bowler. Work to do. Well fielded. Down there, that'll be 2. Abby Harrison has to get her skates on. Good stuff from Marie, as I say. Didn't get too much work out in the Netherlands with the bat, but certainly showing her worth today.
Yeah, Harrison definitely the quieter partner. 10 off 15 as Marie races along. 44 off just 27 deliveries in this women's final.
Down the track again. This is in the air, and there is a moment in this final. Cara Marie trying to go over the offside again. This time just didn't quite get to the pitch of it. Lofts the ball to Niamh McNulty, and the captain does the rest. Cara Marie, excellent knock from her. She's come in the first over, and she departs 44 from 28.
Yeah, fantastic knock from Cara Marie, but massive moment here, you reckon. Came down the track again. Outside off, so it's good length, and then well taken just outside the ring by Niamh McNulty, by the skipper. Those big moments, as we say, in a final like this. Heart potentially in mouth, but that's it. She got the job done.
Yeah, I think the shot was on. I think the shot was there. She just maybe didn't get to the pitch as much as she had done previously, and just bounced a little bit on her then if she wasn't on the half volley therefore. And it just looped up, but I think that the shot was definitely on. But really good stuff from Cara Marie. She's given her team a really good start here. Let's see if they can back it up. It's the Kiwi in now, Abigail Gherkin, who's performed really well for Waringstown. Just settled that middle order a little bit, so can she build on this partnership? Armstrong with the wicket there. That's straight. Down leg, well, I think the umpires said that's going down leg, but there's the breakthrough for Merrion. Much needed, to be fair. And they've got rid of Murray. 63 for 2.
Yeah, the wicket they wanted, definitely. Maybe slightly over-enthusiastic there from Armstrong with that LBW appeal, but she knows her work is done. She's got that breakthrough. That ball to follow up. It's a great piece of bowling. I was just about to say, I thought Murray used her feet quite well. She was using her feet very well throughout that innings, but that line was just perfect. Just outside off, drifting away slightly. Just did enough. And great catch by Niamh McNulty, by the Marian skipper. Marcy to continue from the city end. Swept by Harrison. Swept well. Be tidied up there. Will they come back for the second? They do indeed. Loves to employ that sweep, Abby Harrison.
Yep. She actually plays it quite well. She's targeting those 2 fielders on the leg side. Goes again. This time doesn't make contact.
Very wide outside off stump. Signalled as by there by our umpire. Good line by Morrissey. Gherkin having a look here at Morrissey, having just arrived at the wicket.
Yep, Abigail Gherkin. Let's throw it at you. What's her nickname? Thrown up by Morrissey. It'll hit straight back. So what's Abigail Gherkin's nickname?
It can only be one thing. It's a great name.
You'll hear it in a minute.
Pickle will hear it, I'm sure.
You
today.
got it. You got it. There's Pickle.
Swept
She
the
picks
fielder.
out the field.
Yep, indeed. Picked up there by the mid-wicket. Some good bowling by Morrissey. Some very good lines going to her field.
You nailed that one, Dave. Yep. Good lines. Almost guaranteed to be a wide next ball.
Yep, just pushing that slightly.
It's in the air.
Miscued slightly to point.
Yeah,
for
just
that
hasn't
ball.
picked the pace up just as yet.
Yeah, it'll take a bit of time, but it'll be interesting to see how Abby Harrison goes here. She was the quieter partner with Murray at the crease, had that luxury. Now it'll be on her slightly to set that pace, to set that tempo. Stumps again.
Better timing.
Get through for a single. Diving McNulty there at cover. And that is the over. 68 for 2 after 9.
Yeah, good point there about Abby Harrison now. She was quite happy to sit back and let Cara Murray do her thing, and she did it really well until losing her wicket there. But you kind of got to step up now and let Abigail Gherkin have a couple of overs of settling in. You can't have too long in a T20, obviously, but just to get used to the pace of the bowling and the pitch, Abby Harrison needs to keep that run rate up around 5, 6 and over at least in this middle period.
Armstrong continuing from the Dundonnell end. On the stumps. Played off the back foot to the bowler. Gherkin with 1 off 6. Just keep an eye on that strike rate. Have to turn strike over. And that's it. Gets the single, down to long on. That's exactly what Harrison would want.
Yeah, I think that point you make there is really key in terms of the teams that play at, say, a lower level in the Northern Union is when you come in, is eating up too many balls early. If you can just keep that strike rate ticking over, pick up your singles.
Fuller from Armstrong. Very full, actually. Tidied up by Stokel there. Deep on the leg side.
Yes, you'll probably watch the Merrion girls will come in and try and get off strike straight away and build an innings almost immediately. In T20 cricket, that's vital, because if you do sort of chew up maybe 8 or 9 balls at the start of your innings to get off the mark, it makes such a difference just over the fielder.
Just gets it over Armstrong, just does enough. But rotating the strike, exactly what they'll need. Exactly what you're saying. It's just being slightly proactive. Of course, we've seen that with Cara Murray. She was very proactive in the power play. It's a different kind of proactiveness, just to be able to turn strike, to turn it over. Don't get bogged down. Armstrong in. Full outside off. Goes to McNulty there, cover.
Yeah,
well tidied.
That's the kind of thing I'm talking about there. You know, if you can just open the face a little bit or maybe go over the top, you know, trying to get off strike. Full ball there.
Shorter. That is pulled. It's well tidied there by Stokel. He thought maybe she just got into the gap. Had Gherkin. Would have been a handy boundary, but they run through for 2. And that ends the over. 72 for 2, the halfway point after 10 overs.
Yeah, 72 for 2. That was a lovely shot there from Abigail Gherkin into the leg side, but well fielded by Rebecca Stokel on the boundary. So halfway through, Waringstown have moved to 72 for 2, and as we've referenced a few times, this time last year they only just passed the 90 mark in their 20 overs, so they'll be well happy. At this stage, 10 overs gone. Julianne Morrissey's going to continue. And the offside, let alone. Oh, I thought she was going to leave it alone, but actually tucks it into the offside. Abby Harrison. Dave Sir has taken a little break, and I am delighted to have beside me Emma Butler. Emma, welcome along to this All-Ireland Women's Final here today.
Thank you very much, Ali. Nice to jump on with you.
Yeah.
A little comms debut.
It's been a really good start from Waringstown. And I know you've been watching, obviously, from a different little angle. The sun has sort of dripped away here, but we're glad to be on the field.
Yeah, it has. but nice, and nice to see Waringstown kind of using the weather to their advantage, hitting into the wind, taking those big boundaries when they needed it in the start.
Harrison on the sweep again, or sorry, Abigail Gherkin on the sweep there to bring Abby Harrison down on to strike again. Just taking a little bit of time, compose herself, checking the field. They have changed it a little bit. They brought in a mid-wicket, just strengthening that leg side. They've seen Harrison on the sweep. It's outside off and left alone. Well done by Harrison. Happy enough to let that go for a wide. There's that fielder we've just talked about. So yeah, obviously T20 finals day, it's become a big thing over the last few years, especially now we've added the women's game in the morning. It's a big event now, and something that we really want to promote in Cricket Ireland, to make it that club day. Yeah,
100%. It's a huge day in the calendar. T20 finals draw the All-Ireland season to a close. But it's hugely important. It gives the clubs the platform they need to promote the game. And it's just brilliant to see such a big crowd here. Merrion have travelled in their numbers, Waringstown up the road as well, and we can see Cork County Cricket Club have also started to drip in, I gather, to probably get a sense of the pitch in the outfield for later.
Well, that's an amazing shot. That's absolutely amazing shot from Abby Harrison. It's going to go for 4. That'll be a good one for the wagon wheel. She's having a bit of a chuckle there. She's actually gone down to try and play that to the leg side. If we can see it again, here it comes. Watch where she plays this. Goes on the leg side and then ends up pulling it to where sort of third would be. Excellent shot in the end, but not out of the coaching manual, let's say. That's not such a good shot. Probably could have got that one away. It was a short delivery. That closes out the over, and Waringstown 79 for 2. So yeah, you mentioned about sort of the clubs. That's exactly what you're involved in, club development, and this is the culmination of a whole season where, you know, in both men's and women's, we can get both games going on at the same time, and it's really big, especially for the likes of the Waringstown girls who don't get to play at the level of the Leinster teams, you know, to match up and see where they're at.
Yeah, most definitely, and I know it's something that, you know, a lot of the men's players talk about. They've got that history of playing in Irish Junior Cups, National Cups, playing against teams from around the country that they wouldn't usually get the opportunity to. So it's brilliant for the women to be able to do that now as well. It's probably one that, you know, the Super Series lends hand to, that a lot of the players will have played against each other, featured there, you know, Abby Harrison, Cara Murray, battling it out, so they'll be well placed now to take on the likes of Leah Paul and Shiva Boja, Niamh McNulty, those players who are familiar to them. But it's definitely still a challenge. I'm sure there'll be surprises on both sides that they may not have prepared for.
But it's a final. And it's a final.
You're always going to have something that will pop up that you don't know what it was.
You just mentioned her, Leah Paul, into the attack now. Marian has bowled a little bit more. That's in the air, and that's in the gap as well. And Abby Harrison is doing exactly what we asked of her. And we've lost Cara Murray. She's picked up the mantle now and picked up the boundary, getting her singles, and now added in a little boundary. Good shot. Clears that leg and importantly picks the gap. Shorter this time, and in the air. Oh, and down by Stokel. Really should be taking that one. Rebecca Stokel, she had a couple of goes at it. Could be an important moment there. Harrison. Yeah. Into the leg side, and just the wind maybe affecting a little bit, because it is still very, very strong out there. Goes leg side. Keeps it down and just plays it comfortably into that vacant area for 1. Disappointed there, Leopold. Could have got a wicket. It's that third delivery. Side off, that one's pulled in the air. Dash on the ground this time to Stokel in the same area. Just be a single. Obviously, those two have just mentioned back from the Netherlands, a very, very successful campaign for the women's team in the Netherlands.
Massively, it's brilliant to see. They've had a great season, elevating it then at the end with the qualifying tournament.
Oh, there's another drop. Yet to Posia this time. So Paul, 2 drops in the over.
And that one really came out hard at Shiva
hit
Posia
really
there.
Well, yeah. So yeah, the women's team qualifying through to the major qualifier now in Nepal in January, and if we can get through that, a big summer next year ahead for all the girls and women, just even the players underneath the level like we're looking here, maybe aren't internationals right now. You've got a massive summer coming if we can get to a World Cup next year.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, that's going to put some pressure on the club game for sure, but I think it's a good opportunity for clubs over the winter to have a think about what they might need to do, rebalance their sides.
It's another terrific shot from Abby Harrison. Very innovative there. Can they get back for 3? They're going to just settle for 2. Again, we've seen that a lot in the major sort of international men's game and women's games, where the player goes down to play one shot but has that ability to change. She actually was going down to sweep that again, but played a reverse in the end. Good innovation from Harrison. Goes down to sweep this time.
She's really looking to maximise the gaps there behind her. Be interesting to see what Julianne Marcy comes out with now in response to it.
Yeah, she's closing out her 4 overs, going to bowl straight through. There goes for the little lap, but I would say there's not enough pace on that to be playing that shot. I think Gerken will be probably better playing a forceful sweep rather than sort of lapping that. There's not enough pace on the delivery. He's going to get checked out here, even though there wasn't much pace on the ball. He may have come up and hit her on the helmet.
Yeah, and it's something that's becoming more and more important in the game, is making sure the umpires are doing those checks for a player, regardless of how hard it's hit them on the helmet.
Yeah, it's a 10-second check. It's not going to stop the game too long. May as well take a little bit of time out of the game and just make sure. Outside off, and again, just can't get it through the gap. But yeah, you're right. It is going to make, next year is going to make a big impact on the Super Series and the club game, which actually pushes the players through to the Super Series. So you're right, clubs are going to have to sort of, we're part of this as well.
Yeah, without doubt, whether it's looking to bring new players into the game, targeting female adults to become introduced, try new sport, or just bringing your youth players up and through. For some clubs, they're going to have to do a lot quicker than they may have anticipated. But you know, we've seen, and we can see through the Super Series, or even today with the Merrion team, for example, there's a lot of youngsters in the team there that they've brought up over the last few years, and even if there wasn't Irish internationals out there today playing for them, those girls would be able to hold their own because they've had a few years experience up in the Leinster Division 1 and playing at the highest levels.
Last ball of Julianne Morrissey's spell, and it'll be tapped out into the offside for a single, and that closes out Morrissey's spell. She's done well. Just the 20 runs from her spell of 4 overs. She's bowled right through, and Waringstown 92 for 2. Hey, you just mentioned it there. We have to bring it up, the club game, which is obviously what you're majorly involved in, and just talk us through that Leinster finish. Marian, obviously, who are right here today, getting over the line, but what a finish in Leinster. 1 point, I think, was the difference between the two teams.
1 point in the difference between Merrion and Pembroke. There's a lot of eyes following
Yeah.
that last fixture on Thursday night to see what way it'd go. Just a couple of years back, Merrion lost out to Clontarf by even less than a point. So we were happy to take that league win. Merrion not so much, so they got over the line. It's been a hugely competitive season in that Leinster Division 1 up at the top. And really nice as well to see Rush come through into Division 1 for the first time back in quite a while. And they held their own in a lot of fixtures. They got a win over Clontarf there on Thursday, which you know Clontarf will be disappointed to finish out on that note. But again, it just shows that there's teams are ready to step up and compete at the highest level.
Down the track, in the air. Oh, just misjudged there, and it's going to go for 4. Just a few little fielding lapses for Marian here. A few catches going down. Poor old Leopold suffering here at the moment. That's the third one. Miguel Gherkin on this occasion coming down the wicket. Just misjudged in the boundary. To the offside this time, but no run as Oja feels. Yeah, I think Leopold might think she's got her on the wrong side of the bed today. 3 chances and she's going for 13 in her 2 overs. Down again. This will be driven along the ground this time, but just for 1.
She really has shown that she's making those opportunities for Marion to take the wicket that they need here as a breakthrough.
It's in the air and well hit. That's in a gap again. It could be another boundary. And is. So Abby Harrison just taking up the mantle here. And they've moved past the 100 with that boundary of Waringstown. So with 6 overs still to go, they've already beaten their total from last year. And they're putting a little bit of a spurt on here. Putting it up to the Marian. Excellent stuff from Waringstown. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the club season. That's exactly what you're looking for. If the club season in all divisions can improve the levels right the way through from youth to senior, that improves the Super Series, which then improves your national side. So it all comes from clubs at the initial outset.
Yeah, without doubt. We've seen quite a bit of that development coming to fruition over the last few weeks with the Youth All-Irelands. Bonsglen winning the Under-13 Girls All-Ireland, really competitive game, final against Merrion. A few years back, some people would have thought, well, that whoever the Leinster team is will go through and win it straight away. But they put up a great fight. They had 7 Under-11s girls playing in that team. So again, it's just showing that it doesn't matter what the age is, you can bring those younger girls through. And they can do it, but it's hugely positive to see the game strengthening, and more club teams as well seem to be looking for those pre-season friendlies against teams from around the country as well.
Yeah, it doesn't just stop at the cricket. You know, the cricket's one thing, but getting around the country for these young girls, being part of a team, seeing different aspects of the country is a real development chance for those young youth players, and seeing all different parts of Ireland.
Yeah, without doubt. And I mean, even travelling around, even if it's just for a couple T10 or T20 matches in the season, you know, the social side of it as well plays a huge part. And it's brilliant to see more and more clubs putting on that kind of social side of things, players getting out and around cricket more and more.
Going to take on the single here. A direct hit could have been interesting. Talking about young players, here's one taking the ball at the minute. Isling Lollard's very, very up and coming. Scored a lot of runs for Merrion this year in the first division. I think she's over 500 runs in league cricket this year, and obviously we're seeing her here with the ball. Only 16 years of age. Down the ground will be just one, so she's a perfect example of what we're talking about. Somebody who's come along and now making herself almost sort of undroppable in the first team.
Yeah, without doubt. And she's shown commitment over the last few years. Not many people would have heard of Aisling up until this season, but she's been there, she's stuck it out. I know she did a lot of training over the winter and throughout the season as well, and it's just brilliant to see Merrion just, they took that punt at the start of the season with her, trusted her, allowed her the space and time in the middle, both with bat and ball, and I mean it's really come through, the confidence she has rocking up to a game now compared to the start of the season, and even stood out there at 16 years of age, to take on two batters who are very comfortable out there at the moment, putting up a total.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to see somebody coming through, as you say, and then having the confidence to play with internationals and people who have played the game for 20 years. It's really exactly what we're talking about. If you've got that confidence and go out and do your business, and she will probably see her later on, maybe with the bat, and she's been fantastic. But to take the ball in an All-Ireland final, she can tick that box already at 16.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely brilliant to see, and I think that's something, having Isabel Joyce as the captain for Merrion, she's got a brilliant ability to just instill this confidence in players from the start, encouraging them to trust themselves, their thoughts, but then knowing that you've got a really supportive team behind you who can pick you up if something isn't going right.
So into the last 5 overs. Paul's going to continue. So 5 overs to go from Waringstown. 106 for 2. What can they post here? Abby Harrison going to a run up all. 35. Goes on the sweep. A lap more. And gets that into a good area. Should be 2. I'm going to push for 3. They may well do now with a little fumble, but no. Hopping a 2. A great return from the boundary. So just as well, he didn't take on the 3rd there. Excellent return.
She's really shown that she's comfortable playing those shots, using that innovation to look for the runs.
Goes for it again. Puts it in a very, very similar area. Wonder will they go for 2? They are. Again a misfield. Goes for 4.
I think it's Bella Armstrong.
Yeah, Bella down there. She'll be disappointed with that.
She will, and she had the legs. She made the ground to get round to it.
Maybe just looked up a little bit quickly, trying to see what the batters were doing. She was down on the sweep, so it would have been difficult to get back for 2, but yeah. Still go with the 2 hands, and it goes for 4. Again, boundary in the over. This could be a challenging total here now for Marian.
It'll be interesting to see Merrion's approach to this chase, if they start out with Bella and potentially Leah or Rebecca opening up, or if they go out with one of their younger players to see them through the chase.
And into the offside, but nobody will feel that. Yeah, looking at Waringstown this year, you would probably say, if you were asked to decide which is their stronger suit, you would probably say their bowling has been their stronger suit. I think Amy Caulfield's top runs, but she's only 6th or 7th in the list, so that's dragged down a little bit. It's in the air, and Boja comes round but can't get round enough. They come back for 2, and they will. Another one down for Leah Paul. And that brings up the second 50 partnership in a row for Waringstown. Murray and Harrison put on 1 for the 2nd wicket, and now Harrison and Gherkin put on 1 for the 3rd wicket. Outside off stump, nothing going for that. On the sweep will be a leg by probably. Yep, 1 more to the total.
I think Marian will be feeling really disappointed here potentially in their fielding and putting down those key catches as they came up. A couple more trickier than others. The wind definitely seems to be playing havoc. The ball's picking up pace in the air and swirling a little bit, but I think Leah will be disappointed with that when she finishes her spell.
And she'll field that one for the top ball. So that's 16 overs gone. Waringstown 115 for 2. Emma, thank you so much for coming on today and talking about club cricket in general. And obviously this is a big day. You'll have plenty on today. I'm sure you'll be busy today. And we'll maybe catch up a little bit later. Thank you for coming on today.
Thanks so much, Ali.
Emma Butler, who's the Club Development Officer for Cricket Ireland, and very much involved in the women's game. Great to have her on today talking about the club in general, and obviously with her role as club cricket trying to develop the clubs we're seeing today, but also the underneath, the ones that haven't made the finals, and trying to get them to a level which, as I say, will then develop into the Super Series for the women and on into the international side. So welcome back to Dave Surratt. Dave, you've been around the ground a little bit and maybe seen a different aspect here. Another 50 partnership for Waringstown. Can they push on here?
Doing very well here. Lawler's just into her second over now. Handy first over. Young leg spinner in a big final.
There's the wicket. There is the wicket. That one's kept a little bit low on Abby Harrison, but she was going back. We've just been talking about Aisling Lawler and how at 16-year-old she's already a mainstay of this Merrion team, and she's got the breakthrough. As I say, just after that 50 partnership, Abby Harrison goes for 43 from 40 deliveries.
I guess the massive wicket there of Abby Harrison. 43 off 40 deliveries. Just moving slightly through the gears now. Started slower in her innings. Picking it up now. Be a crucial wicket at a crucial time for the young leg spinner. And this could be a massive moment. Goes back to it, straight through it, tries to pull it. Doesn't quite get up. Maybe not quite the delivery to pull. Maybe the sweep potentially a better option there. But a lovely piece of bowling.
It was a lovely piece of bowling, you say is right. Waller's come in here and she's got the breakthrough, but Abby Harrison's played a really fine hand there for Waringstown, involved in 250 partnerships there. First one with Murray, where she took a real back step and let Murray do her thing, and then stepped up in the second half there and has got a few boundaries away, so that'll do her confidence no harm at all. 44 in an All-Ireland final. That brings Naomi Matthews to the crease. And the same drill now. She's coming in, can't really take up too many balls here really. Even if she gets sort of gherkin back on strike here, it's very important that we don't eat up balls here for Waringstown's point of view.
It was a great moment to bring in the leg spinner here to get you a wicket. Maybe she'll get out of this over. Just turned around the corner there.
That's well done. That's exactly what we're talking about. Got to get Gherkin on strike as much as possible now. She's been in for 25 balls.
There was one leg spinner who impressed me last year's final. Risha Faisal for Phoenix against Waringstown. 2 for 23.
Dragged down a little bit, but goes offside rather than leg and gets it down to for single.
Faisal impressed in that final.
She did, yeah.
Effectively out bowling Cara Murray.
Yeah.
What you mean, it was different circumstances. Cara Murray trying to defend 100 in that game. But Faisal going on to make her debut in the Super Series the following season for the Typhoons.
And that's the pathway we've just been talking about with Emma. You know, you get your place in your club side, get yourself settled in the club side, and then the eyeballs will be on coming up into a Super Series. Reverse sweep here, it's in the air, but it's going to be safe. Got enough on it. She's going to come back for 2. She is. Get the sprint on. Miguel Gherkin going to get the wheels going there. Get back for 2. That's T20 cricket. Got all action, but well bowled again. Aisling Lawler gets a wicket. Doesn't go for a boundary, so 120 for 3. 3 overs to go here for Waringstown. Can they just get a really positive finish here, which would really just top off what's been a really proactive innings here. As we say, last year, sort of maybe a little bit nervous and sort of stayed within themselves. This year, they've definitely taken the game to Marian.
It's massive, of course, to be able to take those learnings. It can be tough in a final, always is. This can be only one winner, of course. But to come back from that with those learnings and to really put them into action. Leah Paul continuing from the Dundonald end. He's actually bowled very, very well. Just been a few of those chances gone to hand. Not quite gone to hand, should I say. Not taken by the Merrion fielders.
I think 4 chances he's had, different degrees of difficulty. That's good from Matthews. For me, that's good. If she's not going to try and play the expansive shot, just make sure she gets a single, gets the experienced partner back on strike. Now, can Kirkin work out where to pick up a boundary? It's going to be in the air, and another one goes down. As I said earlier, Leah Paul must have done something wrong last night, because she's suffering today. I think that's the 5th catch now going down.
Yeah, suffering slightly. It was actually a good piece of bowling. Saw her coming down, threw it slightly wider.
This chance. No, she doesn't get back in time. She does rather get back in time. Just came down the wicket there. I thought that had gone through to beat her.
But again, another good piece of bowling. Sees the batter, just has a feel maybe that Matthews is going to come down the wicket, and just throwing it slightly wider. Of course, it's turning away. So, weight of the batter is coming down the wicket. The ball's going slightly away, so the batter has to adjust.
Leg side, just be a single. Help enough for that. Probably Marian at this stage. Plenty of wickets in hand of Waringstown, so really got to think they should be looking boundaries at some stage now, with just 2.5 overs to go.
I suppose that is the question. They've set themselves up very nicely here. What should they be aiming for?
She's dropped one off her own bowling. That was a tough chance. That was a tough chance, to be fair. Having to react. And probably more importantly, she kept it down to a dot ball. No runs off it.
Always very tough for catches, Ali.
Yeah, that was a difficult one, especially just coming through your action.
Sun just breaking through here.
Yeah, the ambulance is head up towards the hospital just up the road. Kirkin on the sweep here. Doesn't make too much contact, but gets through for a single. But a good over to finish from Leah Paul. Just the 4 singles from it. She finishes with 30 runs and a few drop catches, let's say, but no wickets, but kept the runs down to bare minimum, just over a run a ball. So 2 overs to go here, 124 for 3. Let's say the old adage of 10 and over. If they can get to 140 or 144, I think Waringstown will be pretty happy with that return.
Yeah, I think they'll be very happy with that. Leah Paul, yeah, figures might suggest has bowled quite well. Bowled quite well throughout the season, actually. Great to see her.
A little bit more for Ireland as well.
Yeah, it's great to have that option for Lloyd Tennant, new head coach with Ireland Women.
So Lawler to continue in this over. The 19th, that's into the deep. That'll be Ireland's boundary raider, Leah Paul. She's always out there for Ireland and does a really good job there. Keeps it down to 1. That's a big pocket out there, and probably that running in the Waringstown team could have been a little bit better. It's kind of what I was talking about earlier, turning those 1s into 2s on this ground. Clipped into the leg side. They'll go through for a single.
Yeah, good bowling again. Gets it up nice and full, not too full either. You'd kind of wonder maybe, is it best to continue with Lawler? Definitely seems to be in a bit of rhythm, but is it the one too many?
Where's the boundary option here for Waringstown? They've gone down the ground. He's got good contact on that, and it's beaten the 2 fielders on the boundary and has gone for that 4. They got in each other's way a little bit down there. Early call, and there's the boundary we talked about. Decided to go straight down the ground did Gherkin, got good contact on it. Two fielders just converging. Again, lost it in the sky a little bit, and then Armstrong can't keep it in. So that's the boundary, goes reverse, and has got a little under edge on that. That's Harrison. It's not going to be two.
Yeah, so tricky those chances, but of course, just mentioned the wind again, it's swirling quite a bit, so it almost kind of works in the batter's favour. Puts in that added mysterious element, and you could just see the fielder coming in, just kind of overran it slightly. Getting that footwork right, so important.
Dragged down a little bit. That's a lovely shot from Naomi Matthews. That is that extra boundary you've mentioned, Dave, and you sort of said, is it one too many here for Lawler? She bowled so well in her first 2 overs, but she's gone for a couple of boundaries in this last one.
Yeah, it's just the drag down there, slightly shorter than maybe she intended. Well put away by the batter. It's always a gamble, you're putting your chips down.
Yeah. 11 off it. Finish off with a dot, but a good over for Waringstown. And said, could they get 20 from the last two? And they've got 11 from that one. As we move into the last over, Waringstown 135 for 3.
Yeah, you mentioned, I mentioned, sorry, the gamble. But I mean, that if that chance was taken, you could possibly see the back of Gherkin. 26 of 33 deliveries. If you could potentially have a new batter into this final over, could make the world of difference. Looks like we've got Armstrong here from the Dundonald end.
Yeah, I'm sort of surprised at that maybe. Skipper doesn't bring herself back. Going with the experienced off spinner. Just with the two batters in at the minute, maybe would have gone back to seam, but McNulty's decided to rest herself and not take the last over. It's going to be Armstrong to bowl.
You'd wonder exactly. Down the wicket.
Good strong hit down to Stokel though, and another one goes down. It should have been taken as well. Just a single. Catching hasn't been great for Merrion, I have to say.
It's going to be tough, that conversation during the innings break in the Merrion tent.
Yeah, it'll probably all depend on how the batters go. If they don't get over the line, I think it'll definitely be an area they'll look at, but if they do, they'll probably quickly forget about it. But just moving forward, definitely be taking those catches. Goes reverse. There's a chance at the striker's end. Should be. Oh, she's got there in the end. Needed a stronger throw.
Just about got there. Got the dive in as well. But Armstrong, a canny operator here. Probably not the worst decision in the world, actually. Just has the ability to put on a bit of pace, can put on the stumps, can take it off as well. Keep the batter guessing.
3 balls to go. A little bit short, and again Matthews is on the pull. That's a lovely shot from Matthews, very similar to the shot she played off Lawler in the last over. Quick on the back foot, picks the length, pulls it away for 4. Excellent from Naomi Matthews.
Yeah, she read that so well. Got the hands through. Was in a great position to get that away.
He pulled that into the air. I think he's going to come back for 2 this time. It's excellent running. If he can get back, can she get back? Oh, it's been missed by the keeper. Would have been tight.
Boucher just misses that slightly there. The 3 fielders converging there. Hit it perfectly into the gap.
We asked for it, but there's that 20 runs off the last 2. 1 ball to come. Quicker ball. Clipped into the leg side. Now, will they go for 2 again? Surely they must. Got to go to the keeper. It's going to the keeper. And Matthews will be run out, but they had to go. Good little cameo from Naomi Matthews. She gets 17, is run out off the last ball. Had to go for it. But an excellent effort there from the Waringstown batters. Just the 4 wickets they have lost in their 20 overs. And at the halfway point, definitely think that they'll be feeling a lot better than they did this time last year. They've put up a real good fight there against a strong Merrion team. 145 for 4. Matthews run out off the last ball for 17.
Yeah, wonderful batting effort there from Waringstown as they walk off. Possibly the happier of the two camps, of course. Was run through that batting card. 44 off 28 from Cara Murray. That was really the key innings. Just kind of got a bit of impetus going, got them moving. Abby Harrison, 43 off 40. Later on, she batted throughout until she was removed by Lawler. And Gherkin with 28 off 35. And a good hand there from Matthews with 17 off 13. Just for an added boost.
There's your partnerships, and obviously lost a wicket in the very first over. A couple of wides contributed to that too. But then two excellent partnerships, very different. Cara Murray came in and took the hand straight back to Marian. She was a major partner there in that 61. And Abby Harrison and Gherkin put on another 50 partnership, 52. And even at the end there, that last wicket, 30 between Abigail Gherkin and Naomi Matthews.
Yeah, one wicket there for Niamh McNulty early on. 1 wicket for Armstrong, and then 1 for Aisling Lawler, 1 for 20. Maybe that last over from her just being, maybe the slight difference was 10 off that over, and then 10 off the final. So some drop catches as well, contributing to that. Definitely created some chances.
Yeah, so we're at the halfway point here. Waringstown won the toss, elected to bat. They have put up 145 from their 20 overs. So we'll have the Merrion run chase. It's going to be a real tough one today for them. Can they get over the line and keep this All-Ireland T20 Women's Trophy in Leinster? So Marian to chase, 146. Please return and join us again at around 12:30. Welcome back, everyone. We are here at the Ward Storm of the blustery but dry day here in Belfast for this first game today in our All-Ireland T20 finals day. Earlier on today, Waringstown won the toss in this women's final. They decided to bat, and they'll be pretty happy with their return of 145 for 4. 40s for Abby Harrison and Cara Murray. And we've got a game on here. 146 required by Merrion. They're looking to win this All-Ireland T20 final for the third time, but they've got a job on their hands. Dave Surratt, what are you thinking?
Definitely a job on their hands. How important is that, getting runs on the board in a final? Crucial, really, here. It was a bold move by Waringstown. They batted first in last year's final, 99 for 7. A tougher task for them last year in Phoenix. A much better total today. Definitely something to play with, and you mentioned their strength in bowling. So it'll be fascinating to see how this contest plays out. Still some strong winds coming across Stormont. Bit of sun peeking through with an autumnal feel.
Amy Caulfield up on the bowling. And a good start from Caulfield. She'll want to get really involved in this, having been dismissed in the first over, but her teammates bailed her out a little bit with two great partnerships to start the innings. Second and third wicket putting on 50 apiece. Lines from Caulfield, but that's nicely played into the leg side. There's a fielder out there. She really does well. That's a great return.
Yeah, good piece of
Excellent
work.
return.
Excellent work there. Great work too by Caulfield. Straight on the stumps. Good line so far. Of course, there were those drop catches during the Waringstown innings by the Marian fielders. How much will that affect them?
Well, yeah, I mean, a difficult one, because you never want to sort of prejudge a game before it happens. Good lines from Caulfield, but sort of the way that innings panned out, Marian obviously maybe got to think about a plan B here. They've got a bigger total maybe than they thought. They might have had the chase. Got to just think about what way they're going to go about this. Annabelle Squires now is opening with Armstrong. That's beautifully bowled from Caulfield. Good length, a little bit of carry and bounce. Obviously Bella Armstrong, who's got off the mark here. She's very important, but can Waringstown just build a little bit of pressure early here? It's wide, cut, work to do on the outside of the boundary and won't get around. So the opening boundary for Marian. Lovely shot from Squires. She gets off the mark with a 4.
Yeah, looked like Rebecca Evans out there tidying up on the boundary. Good work to get to it. Couldn't quite get enough of a hand to keep the ball out. So an early boundary there for Marian.
Just width from Caulfield that time. Clipped into the leg side. Should just be 1. Susie McCollum comes around from 45. The end of the opening over. Just that boundary. Squires got away. Just a one slightly offline delivery from Caulfield. There it is. And beautifully put away by Squires. So 6 coming from that opening over.
Yeah, there could just be an element here from Marion just starting again. They're so dominant, really, if you look at that, their path to the final. Beating Pembroke in the Senior Cup final. Sports Hub Senior Cup final in Pembroke. Pembroke, of course, with Orla Prendergast, Louise Little, Sarah Forbes, Shauna Kavanagh. Big team to come against, and beating them by 64 runs. And then the semi-final, winning that by 126 against Balbriggan. Coming past Leinster in round 1 by just 35, actually. So a hard-fought win in that first game. So Marion just having to start again here. Have to do a bit of work after those drop catches. Total there to chase on the board.
A real interesting move here. Oh, that's beautifully bowled from Penny Spear. I was just about to say, interesting move from Waringstown to bring on Penny Spear straight away with the new ball. And the left arm spinner has got a breakthrough there. For their first delivery, Annabelle Squires goes for 5. She's got the 1 boundary. She'll have to depart. And Marian 6 for 1.
Yeah, really interesting move there. The left arm spinner in the power play. First delivery to Squires on the money. Just moves round it, bowled her around her legs. Not much turn, just straightens and does enough. Lovely piece of bowling, but great decision.
Yep. Just a youngster is Penny Spear. We were talking about Leslie Lawler. Penny Spear is even younger at 15, opening the bowling in an All-Ireland final. And now she's bowling up against an Irish international, Rebecca Stokel. So, what a feeling for a 15-year-old in a final. You've taken a wicket with your first ball. Again, her dad is here today. He'll be the proudest bunch here. It's nicely bowled as well. Stokel on the back foot, will just be 1.
Nicely timed there by Stokel. Very well hit to that fielder deep at leg, on the leg side.
So very similar to the Waringstown innings. And a wicket has fallen early. And we said then, big partnerships. This is now with 146 to be chased. Back foot from Armstrong, but that's again well bowled from Spear. Again, she's played a little bit of underage cricket, representative cricket this year. Really come on, and again I said it in the Merrion innings, just to be handed a ball at 15 years of age in an All-Ireland final. That was nicely bowled as well, just went on with the arm a little bit. In fact, if you can just see to the background there, that's her father there, just in the background with the sunglasses on. He's a little bit nervous, I think. Short this time, but ball into the field. Cameron Murray's down it. Long on.
Yeah, it's been a very good start by the young left arm spinner. In a big moment like this, we mentioned Waringstown last year coming into the final. Maybe learning a bit about the occasion.
It's really well bowled. Really well bowled from Penny Spear. Just held that one back a little.
But how big is it having these young spinners coming into a big occasion like this, taking wickets and performing?
To the offside, but well fielded into the ring. And that's an excellent over to start with from Penny Spear. It's been good for Waringstown all season. They've really relied on her, and we said the same thing with Lawler. She got into her club side and now is a fixture in it. Really developing as cricketers, both Lawler and Penny Spear. She takes a wicket, and Merrion are 11 for 1.
All eyes on Bella Armstrong here. Such a formidable batter. Very aggressive, can just take the game away, especially in the power play. Seen her do it for her club side and in the Super Series.
Caulfield to continue. Into the offside, but can't get it away. Here does the fielding. You just feel a little bit of a buzz here from Waringstown. Definitely would have come in this whole week thinking we're definite underdogs here. I don't think there's anybody would have suggested otherwise. But certainly the fear factor's dropped away here. I feel that they're really in this game. They maybe pick up another one here. In the air, work again on the offside, but well timed again. Really well played. Gherkin can't get round to it. Really well timed by Bella Armstrong. Again, just a little bit of width, not too much from Caulfield, but Bella Armstrong all over it in the power play.
Yeah, it's just errors outside off there. Squires put her away similarly.
Maybe disappointed with that one, just overcorrecting from the previous delivery. A piece of keeping from Sophie Haynes to make sure it doesn't go for any extras. Drag the length back a little bit, but the line was better.
Yeah, tight moments like these, have to keep an eye on those extras. Could be crucial here. You don't want to give Marian anything.
That's well bowled. They're going to take on a single. Fielder on back on the ring. So that's a good piece of running there, and that could be crucial here. You know, maybe not think too much about it, but just making sure take those singles. Field is set back on the ring, bit of an in and out field in the ring. So Rebecca Stoker will take her first delivery from Caulfield. And that beats her outside the off stump.
Yeah, lovely piece of bowling there. Just outside off, but better length because previously she had dropped short outside off. Makes it quite difficult for that sweeper on the offside.
Down the wicket from Stokel. Beats mid on. That'll run away for 4. A nice shot. Stokel again. We talked about the proactiveness, not happy to sit in the crease. Comes down the wicket, makes it into a half volley and gets good connection.
Yeah, that was a key factor during the Waringstown innings. Getting those feet moving, coming down the track, just got things going. Stokel learning from that.
Yeah, we mentioned Penny Spear's father was on the screen a minute ago. That was Simon Harrison doing the fielding there. Pretty pleased parent as well with Abby's innings earlier on today. 44 she scored. That's maybe a sign there from Stokel that she's going to be on the proactiveness here down the ground from Armstrong. She's happy enough to take 1.
Yeah, it's definitely the way to go. Same for Marian. Can't just sit back here. Possibly slightly stunned maybe by that early wicket.
Again, just drifting with the arm. And a little bit of wind coming across the ground there.
Yeah, that very strong wind going against the turn, but aiding drift. Good piece of bowling on the stumps there. Just a single.
Yeah, for the likes of these Waringstown players, not usually, most of them not usually on. So on this sort of stage here, people watching, it's pulled again. Offside. You know, got a full national audience watching here. You know, probably never seen Penny Spear bowl, things like that. She's on full show here, and as I say, so far 9 deliveries, just the 9 runs. And it's nicely bowled again. It's going to beat the field though. Going to run away. Caulfield is round to pick up. Good teamwork there.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to see these younger cricketers in action. Spear, and of course Lawler earlier. Some very good bowling here. Opening the bowling, never easy.
Yeah, really liking the length she's bowling here. Got the field set well as well.
Cara Murray there, long on. Bit of work to do so far.
Gets away with that one. Just check the umpire. Happy enough that it is under the waist height. Gets away with a dot ball there. That's the only poor delivery so far from Penny Spear. Excellent 2 overs from her. And after 4 overs, Merrion 28 for 1.
Definitely gets away with it. Nearly got a wicket.
Very nearly.
Nearly,
Yeah.
just about. Just that final delivery. Yeah, very good start from the young left arm spinner. Some very strong winds going across the ground. Really will be who can adapt to it better. We mentioned those drop catches from Merrion. Affects everything. Ball swirling in the air perhaps just adds an extra mysterious factor. But then as well, fielders converging. They have to call to make sure, see if you can hear everybody.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on the captain.
Caulfield to bowl a third. Into the off chance. Oh, and it's gone down. There's a moment. Talk about chances. Just dipping a little bit.
Big moment there.
Yeah, that's a big moment. It's Sam Todd there in the covers. Just dying a little bit on her.
Yeah, just died slightly. She looked well set for it. Good position to take the catch. Just maybe dropped there at the last moment.
That's pulled away. How many times do we see that? See a drop catch and then the very next ball goes for 4.
Bella Armstrong into her work. Says thank you very much. Taking advantage of that drop catch.
Just drifting down the leg side. Again, it's more the line. Gives her the opportunity. Free her arms a little bit. Power play, you've got a fielder down there, but lots of space on the leg side. Margin for error very small. Caulfield here. This time offside. A fielder well fielded there. Slightly overran it. And Abigail Kirkham managed to get her left hand down.
Yeah, some very good work. Well watched. Yeah, just moved slightly past it. Watched the spin. Got her hands to it. Well recovered. Good piece of cricket. You don't want to give Armstrong too many chances on the power play.
Again, well fielded. Same fielder. She's been brought up into the offside ring there.
Nothing getting through that ring there. Some good work. Apart from the drop catch earlier in the over.
Fuller delivery. Right to mid off a comfortable single. Binding the over, but not going for one of those big overs in the power play so far. You can keep this one away from the boundary. Reasonable over again. And it's just held back a little bit from Amy Caulfield. Gets that dot ball, so just 7 from it. 5 overs gone, 35 for 1, and exactly 7 and over. You can see on your screen there the run rate currently 7 and over, and your triple R run rate required 7.4.
And well bowled by Caulfield to get that dot ball, just getting out of the over nicely. That's what you want. Spear continuing from the Dundonald end.
Yeah, you talked about it in the last innings about Lawler maybe bowling the one extra over at the end. Can't Spear go differently and maybe get out of this one? That should be a top ball to start, and is fielded by Matthews at mid wicket.
Yeah, it's a bold move, of course, having your young left arm spinner in a big final, opening the bowling.
It's down the ground. Murray comes round. Fields will just be a single. So I think they've set the field quite well, because Cara Murray's been involved quite a lot. She's bowled to that field. Again, you can only have 2 out, but Long On's been really involved. And that's really important for Waringstown here. Could have hit that for 4, Armstrong, but instead it's a dot ball. Once again, Marian Long On.
Yeah, you just got a sense in that previous over from the City end. Just Waringstown hunting in the ring, kind of hunting as a pack. You can feel it. You can feel that momentum. Building up those dots. Maybe Stokely is getting slightly frustrated there that she couldn't turn it. for a single. Point square there.
Down the wicket, it's in the air. Can Caulfield take this? Oh, it's down. Another drop catch. Might actually be Charlotte Lands, actually. Apologies. So that's a big moment again. Both these batters now. Chances.
I'll have a look here now. Good piece of bowling again by the spinner. Beaten, really coming down the wicket. Still on the move, I suppose, taking that catch. You just talk about that footwork, that momentum, where your weight is going when you're trying to set yourself for that catch. You thought she'd made quite good ground, actually, but not quite good enough. Looks like we have a bowling change from the City end.
Yeah, that's a big moment there. There's your bowling figures. Both bowlers have gone through the power play. Caulfield 3 overs, none for 23, but look at those figures for 15-year-old Penny Spear. 1 for 16, and that should really read 2 for 15. That would be such a fill-up for Waringstown here. Now we've got a huge moment. There's a girl on screen, Cara Murray. Done her job earlier with the bat now. Can she take Waringstown forward here? Pulled into the leg side, obviously outside the power play now. Got a fielder back. Just sense this is a huge moment for Waringstown.
Yeah, definitely good time to bring in Murray. They'll try and get on top of her as well, though. Marian.
Yeah, they'll just be looking for a couple of those magic deliveries that Murray's got in her armoury, just to eke out the real experienced players of Merrion. See if they can get a couple of wickets here. Down the wicket. Got enough of it to get it over mid-on. Looks as if it's going to run away, and does, into the Waringstown supporters. That's the moment I'm talking about. Can you just spin one past? Batter advancing. Stuckle good enough on this occasion.
Yeah, not quite to the track there. Does enough to get it up and over. Not to forget that you got that strong breeze, so maybe the ball could potentially hold up.
That's nicely bowled, because she pushed back mid-on, or mid-off rather, to long off after that boundary. It's a comfortable single. So good batting, you have to say, from Stuckle.
Yeah, some good work after that drop chance in the previous over.
Into that gap on the leg side. Fielder right, should be 2. They do come back.
A lot of ground to cover out there.
Yeah, it's a big pocket in that corner.
Good area to target if you get it up over the mid-wicket. Final delivery here for Murray.
A little bit short. Cara Murray, that's in the gap this time. That will go for a boundary, so 2 boundaries in the over. And as I say, this is going to be probably critical if Murray can take wickets, or if Marian can get on top on that over. Definitely goes to the team in green. 12 runs from it.
Yeah, excellent shot there from Armstrong. Just moves back, great piece of footwork. Murray could see her error when she saw that foot going back, planted back. Armstrong gets her hands through the ball. Wasn't too short, but short enough for a player like Armstrong to get it away.
50 up for Marian. Waringstown went to it just before that, but 51 for 1, 7 overs gone. Run rate required almost equal now. And I think for Waringstown, just hang in the game, just hang around, let the scoreboard do its work. Spear to finish off. Beautifully bowled, well fielded as well.
Yeah, I think this is a really good move. Ball out Spear. Obviously has a good bit of rhythm here.
Down the wicket again in the air and going to beat mid-off. Targeting that area. She did it in the last over and probably should have perished. This time gets much more of Bit of blade on it. Lifts it over. And off for the boundary.
Stokel coming down the track. Definitely more assured now in her movements. It's just outside off. It's a good move by the young spinner. Gets her hands through it. Up and over.
Changing the field. Oh, does now go back. Brought mid-wicket in.
Good reply on the stumps. By Spear.
That's a little bit unfortunate, you have to say. Some of the little bugbears just come into the game. Anything down leg side is a wide now. The wide rule used to be, it still is actually, if the batter can't hit it. You can't tell me that Rebecca Stokel was unable to hit that ball. A little bit difficult for the bowler, but I suppose it's the same for both teams.
Down to Murray at long on. A lot of work so far down there. Just 2 deliveries left in this over.
Nicely bowled again, just out of the reach of Naomi Matthews. I think it is in there at mid-wicket. Those are little things that you feel just have to go Waringstown's way. Ball to hand. Just a single.
Mass delivery here now.
Yep. Cara Murray will be involved again. Long on. Must be well over 8 or 9 deliveries since she's collected there. But let's give a shout out to young Penny Spear. 15 years of age. Given the ball in an All-Ireland final against a top-class Merrion outfit. She's taken a wicket. Goes for just a run of ball in those overs in the power play, and a really top-class performance from young Spear. It's a good round of applause from not just the Waringstown but everybody at the ground today. Well done to her. Her job's done with the ball. She'll be in the field now as well. Very important point. She's sitting there at point at the minute, so that will be a very important bit of fielding, but her job's done with the ball. Excellent set of overs there from young Penny Spear. Murray to continue.
Fuller there from Murray.
Yeah, as I was saying in the last over, Dave, I think they just need to hang in the game here. And let the scoreboard take over then, and let that try and get that run rate up above 8 if they can. Try and build pressure that way. It's in the air again, but they've managed to get enough on it again. Head and hands for Cara Murray. They're taking on the fielders straight.
Yeah, taking Murray on here. Flights it up. It's well met there by Armstrong, getting her hands through it.
Just going over those fielders, if long off or long on, are in the ring. They're definitely taking them on here, so is it the area to think about for Waringstown? Over the field again, that'll be another boundary.
Yeah, just over the fielder. Tantalisingly close.
Again, just really got to go to hand. We said the spell, Murray's spell was going to be important. 4 boundaries conceded now. Can she come back with a wicket here? A much needed wicket. The team from the lawn. Nicely bowled.
Nicely flighted just for the single. Yeah, some good work from Armstrong. Just picking the right moments. You've got to take your hat off to her with those boundaries.
Single-handed. Long off again. Done the damage in the over, really.
Yeah, that's it. 1 delivery now left. What a big over here.
And once again, just over the reach. Wicket. They're going to take 2. So another big over for Merrion. We mentioned that Merrion was a big bowler for Waringstown. He's gone for 25 from 2. Partnership well past 50 now. 66 from 47. That was the worry for Waringstown. These two would really get going. As I say, 9 overs now. 72 on the board. So it's actually the run rate has increased rather than the run rate required. So you just need to build a little bit of pressure. A couple of good overs here. Either picking up a wicket or restricting runs down to 3 or 4 for a couple of overs just to try and put a little bit of doubt in the Marian dugout, really. That's really what they're trying to do here. Mitchell Harrison now going to come on for Waringstown.
Yeah, stump to stump, straight away.
Yeah, that'll be the tactics for Mitchell Harrison. She'll just try and bowl stump to stump.
Yeah, the key here, I think, is Marian just look like they're enjoying their final now. Whereas before, maybe with the drop catches, loss of that early wicket. It's just a tough moment for them, bit of pressure. But a bit more sun. Well, the sun's actually disappeared now that I've said it. As soon as you do.
Commentator's curse there is. Ariel, oh, what a grab. What a grab. Well, what a day. What a day she's having. Great catch in the field there. And Armstrong has gone. We were just saying that these two were starting to enjoy themselves. But we've seen a few catches go down. But that's an excellent take and point. I mentioned that her day wasn't over. Having bowled her 4 overs, she was going to be very important in the field. And as it's proved, Penny Spear takes a blinder.
Yeah, excellent catch. Harrison at the attack. Gets the wicket. Moves well. Gets her hands to it. Big day out for Penny Spear. The other thing as well, you just bowled 4 hours, 4 very good overs. You're in the field, you're buzzing.
Yep.
Definitely is. And they just needed that. They really needed that to get back into this final. Marian, as we mentioned, just enjoying their chase, which is not what you want. You want to make this as difficult as you can from a Waringstown perspective.
That's exactly right. You don't want to bowl poorly and give the game away here, really. You just want to keep the pressure on. And even if at the end of the day you don't get over the line, you've done exactly the same with the bat. You haven't been sort of negative, you've been proactive. And in the same in the field, if you can keep taking wickets and just restrict the runs a little bit, basically make Marian win this final rather than give it away. They're certainly doing that at the minute. Big wicket. Now you got your 2 Irish internationals at the crease. You can just praise one of these 2 out, if not both. You mentioned her name. It's Leah Paul, of course. Very recognisable.
The left-handed Leah Paul, of course, one of the more crucial details. The field spreads, and a lot of work for the captain to do to make sure all the fielders in the right positions.
Yeah, Willie Clark would have a word there. Richard Harrison almost ended up directly in front of him, and she bowled. Probably not used to bowling around the wicket because there's not a great deal of left-handers in women's cricket. She'll have to stay off the strip. You can see a bit difficult for her. Leah Paul gets off the mark, clips that one into the leg side.
But Leah Paul can cover so much, really. Little deft touches. Has that power game too. You need to be very careful when she comes to the crease, because if you get your field placings just slightly wrong, she'll take advantage of that. Key moment for her when she comes to the crease.
Yeah, it's a really good point. She's very, very good at picking gaps early on. Exactly what we talked about in the first innings, where lots of club players don't quickly get off their mark with singles and keep that scoring rate ticking over, so they can keep their rate at around about 100 and then kick on. So she's very, very good at that. Just dropping a little bit the edge of the ring here. Circle. Moving down the ground. It's going to pick the gap. That'll be 4. Nicely hit from Stokel. It was a full toss, but she does exactly what we were just talking about Leopold doing. Picks a gap. Manages to get it to the boundary.
It's a lovely shot there from the tall right-handed batter. Falls on her now slightly with Armstrong back in the tent.
Backed up in the field. Nice delivery from Harrison, but gets out of it. Boundary from the over, but picks up a wicket. Just talked about it, just hanging in there at the minute. Waringstown, 10 overs gone. 78 for 2.
Yeah, 1 for 6 there from Harrison. That's exactly what Waringstown needed. 68 needed off 60. Just keep pushing Merrion here. They were enjoying themselves. Bit of chat in the middle. That's what you want. You've got your 2 internationals out in the middle. Won't be easy.
Yeah, not meant to be. Not meant to be easy here. All Ireland final. We're going to change it up. Take Carmody to the attack and bring on Naomi Matthews. She's actually been Waringstown's leading wicket taker in the league campaign this year. She's going to come around the wicket to Leopold. Those figures there for Waringstown. Carmody trying to buy that wicket maybe. Picked up a few boundaries off her, going straight down the wicket again. Mid-off is up for the left-hander. Got to be careful of your square boundaries with Leopold as well. Very adapted sweep shot, but has really developed down the ground, as have quite a lot of the Irish players.
Flicked away nicely. It's deep mid-wicket, just for the single. Yeah, interesting matchup. Of course, the off-spinner against the left-hander. Now has to deal with Stokel.
Yeah, interestingly, Naomi Matthews bowling with cap and with sunglasses. We see one or the other occasionally, but she's bowling with a cap and with sunglasses.
Keep the hair down. But of course, keep the hat on. It's tricky enough.
Difficult enough today. Very difficult. Seen a few disappearing today.
Yeah, I've put my cap in the car. Flew away. And that was it. Good piece of bowling there. Respected by Stokel. And just needed something to happen, Waringstown. That's what they got. Rachel Harrison. Comes down the wicket slightly. Just get the single that shall have a go. No, not quite.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the field here. They are keeping mid-off up for both the right-hander and the left-hander. I'm just thinking, is that the right option here, especially to Stokel? She is looking down the ground here. Maybe you're not really going to stop the single because he's back on the ring. So maybe when Stokel comes on strike, get your straight boundary riders out there and let her have to hit in a different area.
Yeah, it's a really good call, I think, especially with Stokel. Bit of time at the crease, 34 off 29. Leopold maybe, he just say, try and go over, having just arrived at the wicket. Comes down the wicket there. Yeah, you mentioned she's on the ring there, so single for Paul.
Yeah, just you're going to get one anyway, pretty much, because she is hanging back on the ring. So certainly now I would probably protect my off spinner a little bit more.
That's quite brave anyway, having your...
Yeah, well it is. I mean, you obviously it could be a wicket taking option. She mistimes it. She could cover it long on. I suppose the other way of looking at it is you do need to take wickets. Probably if we get to the 20th over, Marian are going to get home here. You know, as I say, they're less than a run of ball. sorry, just over a run of ball. But you know, you would feel in these last 9 overs that if they go to the death, Merrion will get home. So they do need to take wickets.
Yeah, Marian just such a formidable batting lineup. I mentioned their performance in that Leinster final, beating Pembroke by 64 runs. Leopold with 97 off 54 deliveries.
Yeah.
Quite a batting performance. So they've got so much depth, really. So Waringstown will need some wickets. 64 needed off 54. Rachel Harrison continuing from that Dundonald end.
Tremendous piece of film. I thought I thought he's gone away there. She's maybe worn that on the knee.
Yeah, just on the side maybe.
She's been in the war. Kirkham's been really busy out there.
Yeah.
Taking it on the knee and a little bit of a stretch right now. Yeah, I think she's going to be fine.
Yeah, the final.
Yeah, body on the line there.
Lovely to see.
I'd say the pickle might be a little bit bruised now.
Down the ground to Murray.
Can you bruise a pickle? You can bruise an apple, but I'm not sure.
I don't think you can.
I'm not
I don't think you can. Maybe a cucumber, but
yeah. Anyway, enough vegetable type puns.
Just the one so far. Off this Harrison over. Into her second now to the left-hander. Continuing around the wicket. At field, shifts around.
Yeah, we'd asked for it for Waringstown. They've just picked up a wicket and just restricted the boundaries a little bit now. Can they keep it going now for just another couple of overs and try and get that run rate back up again? And if they can, maybe just pick up another wicket, create a little bit of doubt. As you had mentioned, Dave, they were starting to get comfortable. Armstrong and Stokel, they got comfortable. You don't want Leopold and Rebecca Stokel to get comfortable here. You want to keep the pressure on them, even though they are vastly experienced.
Fuller from Harrison. Well fielded there.
Yeah,
short fine leg.
There. She got away with that for sure. Massive spaces around behind square and just managed to pick out Susie McCollum at 45.
Yeah, you just want to make this as difficult as possible, obviously. But make sure it's getting a bit darker even. Strong wind as a fielding side. Otherwise it's easy batting in the sunshine maybe. Harrison in. Very full, just flicked by Stokel around the corner. Good piece of work in the field there. Yeah, just wrestling back momentum slightly. Since that Bella Armstrong wicket, they seem to be walking away slightly. Marian in this final, looking to get their 3rd title. Full again. Played square. Tidied up by that fielder. Sweeping on the leg side.
Caulfield down there. Good arm from her as well. Another single.
Yeah, that's it. They just keep working at that required run rate, sorry. 60 required off 49 now. Of course, 8 wickets in hand. Probably the crucial detail. Just the final delivery here from Harrison. Swept.
Yeah,
2 on offer, I think.
Yeah.
There's no fielders down there. Some good work there. Between the two. Come back for 2. And that is the end of Harrison's 2nd over. 88 for 2 after 12.
Again, no boundary in it. 6 runs from it. Just, as I say, just build a little bit of pressure. You can see that some of the Waringstown supporters in the background there. If you I said to them pre-game today that with 8 overs to go, you'd be still in this final. I think they're probably taking that. Just build a little bit of pressure here. As I say, these two batters from Merrion, Paul and Stokel, very, very experienced at all levels of the game. So I've seen it, done it before. If Waringstown can just even pick up a wicket, create a bit of pressure, Matthews to continue.
Comes down the wicket. A scamper through for the single. Has a go, but she was well in. We'll have a look there maybe. Just gets past Matthews. Be a proactive from Leah Paul. Very changeable conditions. Wind bustling. Sometimes the sun peering through, but we've got our fans down. Great to see. No rain. Some great cricket. Slided up, comes down the wicket, gets it up and over. That mid-off fielder that we were just chatting about disappears for 4. Question really was with a batter like Stokel at the crease for 35 deliveries, well, you should have that fielder back. Is there much really to be gained? Some lovely footwork there from Stokel.
Yeah, for me, that was just the area there. They're changing it now. They're going to put Abigail Gurgan down there at long off. Just for Stokel, I really have liked them to ask her to hit in different areas. They are doing now. Well capable and has done there. Should be 2. It's in a real good pocket there.
Flicked away, a lot of space down there to cover. Yeah, the question is whether it was really worth it, I suppose. Giving away those. Effectively, those 3 runs, if you have the fielder back, could just be the single.
Yeah, I suppose all I could say off Penny Spear, it's the left arm coming around playing against the spin though. She was dropped at mid-off, but just with the off spinner for me, it just was more of an easier hit for Stokel down the ground. Picked up a couple of 2s here now.
Yeah, those 2s now, that could become bothersome. Just had 2 2s now. 2 for 2. Try to say that.
2.
Matthews continuing. Good bit shorter. Gets away with it though.
Yeah,
good fielding off her own bowling. Don't know about you, Ali, but I was always very handy off my own bowling. Never gave anything away.
Don't know anything about it. I was a fielder, Dave. Just a fielder.
Last delivery in the over here. Slides it up, great delivery. They'll get through for a single now. Will they go for the second? That's some good work out in the deep. Just anticipating that. That'll be very, very important.
Yeah, that was well done from Charlotte Lands out there. I sort of realised from the previous couple of balls out there I needed to be on the angle. And those little things, it's how you develop as a cricketer as well. Picking up little tells where the ball's going to go into a certain area and trying to cut off the angles.
So 98 for 2 after 13, 48 required from 42 deliveries. Yeah, those become so crucial, those 2s, because if you can get Marian bogged down slightly with a few dots, maybe even just a few singles, but if they can push for 2s, they can kind of move on a bit ahead and go quietly about their work.
Yeah, that's exactly what these 2 have been doing. Paul Stokel 25 now. Partnership. Just making sure that there's no dramas at the minute. Harrison going to continue for a 3rd.
Good bit shorter this time. Played into Murray. Long on. Got away with that. Field shifts again for the left-hander. Harrison around the wicket. Comes down the wicket. Just plays it for the single. And you have to say they've kept Paul quiet too. 7 off 9. It's not used to what we're seeing. Usually we can see all manners of sweeps, and that is the 100 up as well. 100 for 2. Second delivery in this 14th over. Some strong work by the 2 batters, but Leah Paul, usually we see quite a bit of proactiveness from her. So Waringstown done a very good job to keep her quiet. How important will that be? As Harrison continues. Just passes the outside edge. Dot delivery. Crucial here at this stage of this All-Ireland T20 women's final. Waringstown haven't been there last year. Back here now for this crucial moment to potentially win the final. It's well played.
Well played, yep.
Very well played. Sees it short, does Stokel. She's moved to 50. Very good innings. 53 of 42 deliveries. 6 fours and a very good strike right there. It's exactly what her team need.
Yeah, it goes to a half century, and she's just managed to see this innings through for Merrion at the moment. Being that main cog, she's got 100 in this All-Ireland final already. Back in 2022.
Just played to long off, get through for the single. So she's done it before as Stokel. Be very familiar with this environment, with this kind of pressure. Of course, as an international as well.
Yeah, she's been good form for Ireland this summer.
Final delivery here from Harrison. Can scamper through.
Yeah.
It's well backed up. Yeah, it's a good piece of bowling actually. Saw her on the move. Very full. Paul couldn't do much about it.
Yeah, just that drag down in the over which went for 4, but this was a nice piece of bowling. Paul tries to come down the wicket. Just angling in. Works herself a little bit. Not much going for that.
No.
Rachel.
Very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
They're always out.
Nothing wrong with that though. In the final, you gotta look for everything. Yeah, I was talking about Rebecca Stokel getting 110 in that final 3 years ago. Only one batter scored more than that. She's at the other end. Leah Paul, 112.
Yeah, that cricketing IQ in this Marian team is really astounding with those internationals. Isabel Joyce too in this group of players. Very well fielded there. Everything behind.
Rachel hasn't just finished their bowling spell. I have to say the fielding's been pretty good from Waringstown. Certainly the ground fielding, a couple of catches have gone down. Sort of felt it had to be perfect. The ground fielding's been good.
Opting to go around the wicket here to the right-hander. Interesting move here from Matthews. Just changing it up. Slide it up.
Yeah, created a different angle there. For a single.
Yeah, keeping Paul to 9 off 11.
Yeah, just hanging around here, Waringstown. Take this as deep as possible. It's the old mantra in T20 cricket. Just in the field, take it as deep as possible.
Stokel having a look at the fielders. Of course, and Matthews continuing around the wicket, of course, as she has done. To the left-handed Leopold. Bit shorter. Let's get it away for a single. Strong gusts of wind blowing the leaves about. And Ali's caught one.
What a great grab that was.
Yeah, continuing round the wicket is Matthews. Shorter to get through for the single. They push for the second. Fielder comes in. They're going to push anyway. Yeah, that was very well run by Leopold. It was tight, but she set off immediately. Very good call by these two batters. Very experienced, very good game awareness. Good game awareness by the fielder though, moving in. Still a lot of ground to cover down on that far side. Bit shorter, Plays it down the ground. That's a lovely shot. Meets the side screen. Wasn't quite there for the drive, but the tall right-hander made it easy enough.
Yeah, that's possibly the best shot that she's played. Straight down the ground. Bisects both fielders and picks up a boundary, even though they're both back. Comes down the wicket. Keeps the shape. Keeps it nice and straight. She's just starting to take this away from Waringstown a little bit, Rebecca Stokel.
Fine delivery here. Just a single. Will they push for the second? Looks like they're going to try. And they opt against.
Yeah, Cameron down there. So opt against it, but another decent over for Merrion. As I say, Rebecca Stokel moved on to 62 now from 47. A little bit of a scratchy start, but she's certainly getting into her work now. And these two are, as I say, starting to take a little bit of pressure off Marian. A run a ball now with 8 wickets in hand. You'd have to stay there in the box seat now. But it's T20 cricket. 5 overs to go. Can Waringstown just pull a rabbit out of the hat here?
It's T20 cricket, and it's a final as well. Stranger things can happen.
Most definitely. Mitchell Harrison going to finish off here. She got a breakthrough. In the air. That's the moment there. Just if it just drops the hand. Instead it goes for 2. Going Merrion's way just at the moment.
Yeah, I get that too at the start of the over. Definitely takes the pressure off. 28 required off 29. Harrison's final over from the Dundonald end.
That one stayed a little low again.
Scamper through.
Don't forget, we got the men's final coming up this afternoon. It's been a close affair here. The Waringstown have really held their heads high here at the minute. Still in this game. 4 and a bit overs to go, and they're still in there fighting. Squeezing up on the offside now.
Harrison in. Comes down the wicket, Leopold. Just be the single. Yeah, it could just be the pace in this wicket. We saw that from Cara Murray earlier on. But Leopold hasn't opted for anything funkier, shall we say. Quite a few shots in her armoury. But happy enough, 11 off 13 from her. Just down the ground.
Just a couple of balls left from Mitchell Harrison. She's bowled a decent spell here. Again, just going at just over a run of ball. And that would have been the target at the start. It was just over a run of ball, so she's certainly not going for too many here. See if she can just restrict these last 2 deliveries. Well fielded again. It's a little bit unlucky that it's got away from her, but she's done really well there.
Yeah, that was very well watched there.
I think it's Susie McCollum down there. Again, save 2 for sure.
That's the 50 partnership of 39 deliveries between these two, Stokel and Paul.
Yeah, just 39 balls. It hasn't been fireworks though.
That's the thing.
Yeah, but as we talked about, so important to get the 1s and 2s. Not very many dot balls.
And scamper through for a single. That is Harrison's final delivery in this final. 1 for 28.
Yeah, decent return from Rachel Harrison. Just when she got that wicket off her second ball, you just thought this was going to be the spell. She did bowl well though. There's a couple of loose deliveries out of those 24, but she'll be well happy with that return. 28 from 4 overs. Now 22 required from 24. I'll bring Amy Caulfield back into the attack, possibly for a final little throw.
Yeah, you never know. It's a final, of course. Pressure can do strange things. But they need to build some pressure here to Waringstown. Just a few dot deliveries. Get things to a run of ball. Yeah, sun's out. Merrion definitely, you'd say, enjoying their final at the moment.
So Caulfield on here now. St. Boulder 3 overs up top in the power play. She get a breakthrough. That's a disappointing start for Waringstown. It's going to be runs given. Okay, well, a bonus for Paul. Hit much on the way through there, but
yeah,
got a little tickle on it.
Must have been
Leah Paul.
Yeah, but it's not the start Caulfield would have wanted.
Yeah, not the line there, even though Leah Paul did get a little nick on it. Wasn't the line really.
Yeah, it's just something else to contend with, bowling to that left hand, right hand.
Yeah.
This time called wide, the side of the wicket this time.
And even difficult for Sophie Hines there. You can see on screen the keeper. Leopold's right in the eye line here. So right up to the stumps, but too far behind. So the ball hasn't got that much to travel past the batter. So it's very difficult to see. It's a better line, but cut away and
into loads of space there.
It's going to just get there, I think. Despairing dive from Penny Spear. I think that touched the rope for me.
Yeah, it was definitely very, very close.
A little bit of a chat there. I'll have a look at it again here, but yeah, it's been given on field here. So I think it's been told, you can see it just gets there. Now, great effort from young Spear.
Penny Spear definitely still believes she has been running from end to end, position to position.
Things you can do when you're 15.
So 13 required off 22.
Should be a dot.
Good delivery there by Caulfield.
Yeah, to be fair to Marian, they've managed this quite well. So it hasn't been blitzing the ball around the park, but they've managed it quite well.
Opted for a few things there. Did Leopold. Haven't seen much of it so far. It's called a wide, actually.
Yeah, it's a difficult call again. One of those where somebody turns and leaves. That's a very difficult call for a left-hander. Being a wide there. In the air. Oh, and it's just going to be out of the reach of Amy Caulfield. And that's just those little moments that we talked about that had to go Waringstown's way, you feel.
Just out of reach.
Yeah.
Tantalising. It's one of those ones you dream of. 11 required off 20. If you could just break this partnership, you'd say maybe anything could happen, really. Try and make something happen. Nearly did just there. Just out of reach. Just getting the field right. Caulfield, 2 deliveries left in this over.
Yeah, I think they're trying to create a few chances here, bringing a few boundary riders up into the circle. And there's the answer from Rebecca Stokel. She goes through the ring, and fair play to Waringstown. They've given this a really good go there. They haven't just sat back both with bat and ball. They've tried to take wickets there and by bringing fielders in, but it leaves the boundaries available. Stokel, to be fair to her, she's moved to 70. This is the over that's really going to clinch it for Merrion, you feel. Down to 7 now. To say Stokel moves to 70. Down the wicket again. Nicely bowled from Caulfield, but it's been easy for Waringstown just to sit back there, but they've gone for the try and take wickets. But Marian and Rebecca Stokel in particular are just too good.
Yeah, you got to say, Waringstown, there's been some great decisions from them. Just trying to make things happen. But then, of course, Stokel has been there for quite a bit of time now at the crease and taking full advantage with that boundary in that over. And that's what they can do. They have the advantage of that. Stokel and Paul definitely enjoying their final at the moment.
Yeah, that's the partnership there of 67. He's going to take the Dublin side home here. 8 wickets in hand, 3 overs to go. Murray going to give it a final little blast here. She's had a bit of a chat with her international teammates there as she walked past. I don't know what the chat was. Not hit me out of the park, or, you know, just knock it around for a couple of singles here.
Yeah, last roll of the dice here. We've seen Cara Murray from the City end, so it's their first time seeing her from the Dundonald end. That win maybe aiding the drift, going against the turn though. Well bowled.
Yeah, really nice ball to start. It's going to be 2. She's managed to pick a lovely little pocket there. Stokel.
And of course, this was the end where Penny Spear had opened the bowling and bowled so very well at the start of this innings. Just getting that field right. Two off that opening delivery. Turned away by Stokel. Merrion. Played uppishly.
Well fielded.
Yeah.
Oh, well fielded.
Yeah, it's well watched. That's another thing. The Waringstown ground fielding, I think, has been quite impressive. So they can definitely hold their heads high about.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with their fielding and getting their body in line with the ball. Just those couple of catches that went down, but that can happen at any level of cricket. Certainly they've put their bodies on the line here, got in front of the ball, and even we've talked about the batting upgrade from this time last year. Certainly the fielding and just their general cricket's been so much better this year. Waringstown have given this a real crack.
Here we go from Leopold. Hadn't seen too much of that. Disappears for 4. Gets funky, gets a bit creative. And they've won it there. Marian, their 3rd title. They've enjoyed their final. The sun is out. There's not much more you could do about that.
Yeah, Marian go through to their 3rd All-Ireland Women's T20 win. Having relinquished it last year to Phoenix, they've got the trophy back. Really top-class partnership between the 2 Irish internationals, Rebecca Stokel, who finishes on 74, and Leah Paul on 27. They've seen Merrion home, but kudos and plaudits go to Waringstown, who have come out here today, opted to bat first, put up a really good total of 145, and given it everything today. And certainly the NCU and Waringstown in particular should be really proud of their efforts today. They've taken Merrion all the way here and really given it a good go. But it's Merrion who will win this trophy for the 3rd time, and deservedly so, having seen those 2 batting along with Bill Armstrong, who got runs at the top of the order. But it's been Paul and Stokel who have really taken Merrion home here. But as I say, terrific effort from Waringstown. They had 40s from Cara Murray and Abby Harrison, and I mentioned for young 15-year-old Penny Spear, who took the new ball for Waringstown and bowled her 4 overs, 1 for 24, so a good return from her and a fantastic catch.
Yeah, fantastic performance from Penny Spear. She'll definitely go on from that. Showed a lot of mettle today, with good performance from Waringstown, but hats off to Marian. They dropped quite a few catches actually in their bowling innings, so it would have been tough going into halfway stage. Waringstown, the happier the two sides. But to turn that around and soak up all this pressure.
And we're all the way back to when Waringstown opened the batting there, having decided to bat from winning the toss. Lost Caulfield in the first over, but then Harrison and Murray put on a 50 partnership, really dominated by Cara Murray, who took the attack right to Merrion, 44 from 28. Then Harrison and Gherkin put on another decent partnership. Harrison 43 at just 40 balls, and Gherkin and Matthews on for the final for 28 and 17 respectively at the end. Matthews run out off the last ball of the innings, 145 for 4 from their 20 overs. There's your partnerships, as we mentioned. Opening over wicket, only 2, but then good partnerships for the second, third and fourth wicket of 61, 52 and 30.
And then we'll have a look here at the Merrion bowling. Just the 3 wickets there for McNulty, for Armstrong and for Lawler. Of course, there were a few drop chances. Some very good bowling actually from Leah Paul. Finished with no wickets for 30 from her 4. Quite a strong effort from her. And then, of course, Aisling Lawler, 1 for 20. And then having a look at this second innings here in Stormont. There was that early wicket. Annabelle Squires bowled by Penny Spear. Very good piece of bowling. And then Rachel Harrison seeing the back of Armstrong. But then after that, that partnership between Stokel and Paul. Stokel 74 off 54. Leopold 27 off 20. The deciding factor in this All-Ireland T20 women's final here in Stormont. That partnership there, 74 between Stokel and Paul, really the deciding factor. But then, of course, 67 between Armstrong and Stokel. And then Spear, of course, had opened the bowling. The young 15-year-old, 1 for 24. And Rachel Harrison getting that important wicket of Armstrong. Murray's on the more expensive side. I definitely attacked her because she was going to be a key bowler for Waringstown. So Marian, the winners here in this women's final, the All-Ireland T20. The winners by 8 wickets. They have won their 3rd title after a very commanding performance at the Ward here in Stormont. We hope you've enjoyed this match, and please watch our men's final, which will be beginning later at 2 o'clock between Instonians and Cork County. We hope to see you then.
Welcome to this post-match presentation for this All-Ireland T20 Women's Final. Merrion have got over the line against Waringstown. They have won the trophy for the 3rd time. I'm here with the player of the match. A few people involved in that. Cara Murray with 40, Abby Harrison with 40, and Penny Spear, 4 overs, 1 for 24. But winning the game for Merrion with 74. The player of the match is Rebecca Stokel. Rebecca, Waringstown put it up to you there, but whenever you got in there with particularly Leah in that 3rd wicket partnership, just took it home.
Yeah, I think Waringstown definitely stepped up on the occasion. I think we probably let ourselves down in the field slightly, and they played some really good cricket early on. I think 140 was probably par on that pitch. It looked to be a good deck, and yeah, batting with Bella and Leah there, we were just looking to build a partnership and take it deep.
And for yourself, obviously you've got 100 in a final, in a T20 final before, but getting that 70 and getting your team over the line, really important.
Yeah, I think today it was a great contest, and I think, look, on another day it could have gone against us. So yeah, look, I was delighted to step up, and I'm glad that today went my way.
Yeah, now you've been in good form obviously for Ireland as well. It's been a good summer for you.
Yeah, I've been delighted to finish off the summer, especially here with Marian in the win, and looking forward to some time off now.
Yeah, a little bit of time off. Congratulations. Player of the match today, Rebecca Stokel. And now could I just invite the losing captain from today, Sophie Hines. Yeah, I'm saying losing captain, but you must be extremely proud of your team today.
Yeah, so proud. I mean, I think the girls have had such a good season, and from where we were last year, even in this final, I think today was definitely a massive step up. I always knew Marian was going to be a really tough game, so happy to push them to it, but yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned about last year. We actually spoke last year at that final, and maybe Waringstown were a little bit disappointed, but certainly no disappointment today.
Yeah, obviously always disappointing to lose, but yeah, I think last year definitely had a wee bit of stage fright. This year I think the girls obviously still quite nervous, but came in a wee bit more experienced, a wee bit more confident, so yeah.
And obviously some good performances with the bat. Cara Murray with 40, Abby Harrison, but we have to mention a young 15-year-old there. You've handed her the ball, opening the bowling in an All-Ireland T20 final. Penny Spear took a wicket, 1 for 24.
Yeah, Penny's been brilliant all season. To be fair, like even off the cricket pitch, you probably wouldn't believe she's 15. To be fair, like she looks 15, but she really doesn't. She's probably a lot more sensible than the majority of our team. So yeah, delighted for her. She's been involved with the Junior Irish setups and stuff this year as well, which is so deserved. So yeah, she's been brilliant all season.
Just a word for the supporters that have come out to watch you today.
Yeah, so glad it's in the NCU. So yeah, thank you so much to everybody who's been at all of our games all season and has looked after us. Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. Unlucky today, but really well played. Sophie Hines, captain of Waringstown. And I'd like to invite up the winning captain for Merrion, Niamh McNulty. Niamh, got over the line. 3rd trophy for Merrion. Really pleased.
Yeah, no, we're delighted. We've been in this competition now, I think the 3rd time now, and taking it home again. It's great. I think in the field we probably let ourselves down a little bit, but with the bat, Rebecca and Leah, great partnership, getting us over the line. So
yeah, that experience obviously in the middle order there. Bella at the top. You lost a wicket early, but then Bella and then Leah and Rebecca, they're obviously able to take it home.
Yeah, exactly. And even past them, we have a lot of youth experience. Isabel Light, Aisling Lawler coming into the team, and then we also have the great experience of Isabel Joyce down the order. So I think we're well packed for today.
Yeah, you've got a real good mix there of experience, and as you say, young kids coming through. We mentioned Penny Spear, but Aisling Lawler for yourself, she's done well with the bat, but also with the ball today.
Yeah, 100%. I knew when Aisling was going to come on leg spin, we were going to get something out of it in first ball for Abby Harrison. So, yeah, no, we're delighted for Aisling. She's coming through the youth setup really nicely, and she's fitting right into our squad.
Yeah, fantastic. So you won the trophy again today, taking it back to Marian. A word for you as well. A lot coming up from Dublin to watch you today.
Yeah, great support from Marian. Yeah, no, it's brilliant. My dad's nice and loud on the pitch as well. Biggest supporter.
Yeah, that's great. Congratulations, Niamh. Congratulations to Marian. They've won this women's national T20 All-Ireland final. They've won it again for the 3rd time. They've beaten Waringstown by 7 wickets. From us, it's goodbye from MWX. Don't forget to tune into the final this afternoon, which will be in Stonians against Cork County for the men.